Topic number 6. Yeah, number 6, man. We're not messing around today.
Not today.
This is about Charlie Cox, and he debates whether a lighter PG-13 Daredevil will work in the MCU. He thinks it has to be more mature. So this comes to us via Variety. And they say, it's an exciting time. It's an exciting time to be a fan of Charlie Cox's Daredevil series. Not only are all 3 seasons of the Dark comic book show coming to Disney Plus this month after leaving Netflix, but Cox's Matt Murdock stroke Daredevil finally popped up in a Marvel movie with his brief appearance in Spider-Man No Way Home. Mm-hmm. The door is clearly open for Cox to continue in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but that could mean lightening up his Daredevil. Damien doesn't like that. Cox series has an R-rated edge to it with its brutal violence and mature content. Can his Daredevil still work in the MCU's PG-13 sandbox? Cox is holding on to hope. He says, I wouldn't put it past the folks at Marvel to be able to accomplish that. Cox recently told Comic Book. I'm such a fan of everything they've done so far. I wouldn't underestimate them at all. So if they wanted to make a more PG version of Daredevil, I'd back them to find a way to do where it feels totally in keeping with everything we've done on the show. And maybe there's a little less blood, maybe there's a little whatever, but I back them to do it. Cox maintains that the Daredevil comic storylines that are the most exciting, readable, and relatable to him are ones in which the character lives in a darker space. The future of Cox's Daredevil is a question mark. Fans have long wanted a 4th season of Daredevil, yes?
Yeah.
But the character could theoretically get his own movie or play supporting roles in various MCU films and shows. It absolutely can work, but I guess what you can't deny is Daredevil is never going to work as well in a PG world as Spider-Man does, Cox said. Do you know what I mean? That's the point. I think that the age of the character, the Christian guilt, his history with women and stuff, it's a little bit more mature. It has to be. With Daredevil and its more adult subject matter coming to Disney Plus on March 16th, along with other Netflix Marvel series such as Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. You notice no one ever mentions Iron Fist.
No.
The streaming giant announced it's changing its parental control setting and will direct all users to update their preferences. The new settings include an option to select content rating restrictions for each profile and to add a pin to lock profiles. Yes, well, I think that quite clearly shows that he wants it to stay with the same tone as the Netflix series. Let me go to you first, Damien. What do you make of this article?
I mean, I think he's just trying to open up the bargaining chip with Disney to make the show, because he knows they're only going to go a certain route. So he's got to say, right, I'm gonna be open to discussion about it because I still want to do the part. But if they came to him tomorrow and said, we're keeping it 18, he'd be saying yes all day long.
Oh yeah.
You know, but I think
that's what his preference is.
Yeah, that's what his preference is.
Yeah.
But he's got to be seen to be open to negotiations, be open to change, because at the end of the day, Disney are the one calling the shots.
It's MCU, baby.
MCU, so yes, MCU calling the shots. So
you're right. It is Disney calling the shots, but I'm just saying you're in the MCU, baby. It's So you tell me what I got to do, I'm gonna go do it. You know what I mean?
But do I think they can do it? Out of that, the 2 darkest shows for me when it came to the violence aspect was Daredevil and Punisher. Mm-hmm. Out of the 2, Punisher can't do it.
No,
Punisher just can't do it. You can't change that. There's no way.
It's the same as saying we're gonna make Deadpool PG-13. It can't be done. Well, it can be done, but people won't go for it.
No,
people won't go for it.
Well, that's its endearing quality.
Yeah,
it being so over the top.
Yeah,
and just obtuse.
Exactly.
Yeah,
100%.
But no, with Daredevil, I think if they can be very smart with the writing and they can do everything where it's subtextual, it's hinted at, but it's like that kind of stuff that where kids have got adult comedy in it, but you don't see it. They can refer to the Catholicism and have the drunken moments and the bits with the ex partners and whatnot, without having to be too exploitative of it. And if they do that in the right way and they're smart enough for the writing, then they can probably make a PG-13. When we look at what they did with Falcon and Winter Soldier and how graphic that went, even with the shield killing, they managed to get violence in there. Even with the fight sequences in Shang-Chi, they had some darker moments. Like when his father goes and kills the guy with the rings on the floor. Like, that was a dark moment. When he's fighting the assassin, he goes to literally stab him in the head with a knife.
Yeah.
He's having flashbacks. You've got certain elements of there which are adult nature.
Yeah.
And as long as you cut away at the right moment, you don't have the blood at the right point, you subtly hint at it. I mean, look what they just did in Ireland with the Batman. They managed to get that down to a blimmin' 15A for kids to go and see it. So there's certain parameters now they can play with. They go, right, we're just on the cusp of getting this to adult rare, but if we just take out a millisecond here, a tiny frame there, it falls into the PG-13. It falls into the 12.
Yeah.
You know, and look, a lot of Marvel films like Avengers was a 12. You know, they're all hitting that note.
Yeah.
So if it's done right, they can get away with it. I personally would prefer they kept it darker. Yeah. Because I think that's.
I think they will, but I'll go into that when I speak. But Leon, what do you make of this?
Well, PG.
PG-13. Do you think they're gonna make?
No.
No, you don't think so.
It'll be terrible.
I don't think it'll be terrible.
Not terrible,
because let me just clarify something. With the Daredevil series, it's only the violence that makes it R-rated, isn't it? There wasn't really any sex scenes.
No,
he did Electra in season 2. He does have sex scenes.
He does have. Was it an explicit sex scene?
No,
but it's something that could really be hinted at and just removed.
So it's really
in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
so it's the violence.
The violence.
It's the violence.
It's the violence. So carry on.
Yeah. Boy, I just have fears of like black lightning and them kind of things there. Like, you know, I don't know. PG. I mean, it's been established in a certain way. Yeah. So that's what I want now.
Yeah.
You established it in a certain way. What am I doing?
Yeah.
You could have made it a PG.
And then we have to say it wasn't Disney that did the first ones. So
yeah, but you know what? I think if you've got a formula, and it's working,
and
if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Leave it. Just leave it. Like the Punisher. You know, everyone loved. I binged the hell out of the Punisher.
Oh yeah.
I think Punisher was one of the quickest things I've ever watched.
Okay, well.
Like I was just on it. Like so, yeah.
I take both of your points. If you read the article carefully, you'll see that he's hedging his bets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mind.
He's in the
I'd
MCU,
like to
baby.
do this, but if I have to do that,
I'll do it.
So if you make it a G and I've got to put on pink gloves and I'll do it. You know what I mean?
I've been cooking, boss. It's good to see you.
He's gonna get the screen. I'm Daredevil. Like he's gonna do it. He's in the MCU.
Yeah.
But he's just saying, look, I would prefer it to be R-rated as it was in the Netflix shows. But if you make it PG-13, I'm sure we can find a way for it to work.
Yeah.
That's basically it. But my point, and I'll take your point, it'll be better if it was R-rated.
Yeah.
But with this show specifically, I think it's going to stay R-rated. Because as I just mentioned, it wasn't really the sex that was the problem in this. It was the violence.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, if they are, which they said they are, going to keep Deadpool R-rated, then there's no problem in keeping this R-rated. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, why change the flavour?
Right.
My only caveat to that would be they've started to slowly establish a Daredevil universe in the MCU with the introduction of the most violent character. Because when you think of who the most violent aspect of the Daredevil series was, it's Mr. Slam Your Head in the Door.
Kingpin.
It's Kingpin. It's Mr. I'm going to murder you when I'm a child with a baseball bat and kill my father.
Yeah.
It's that character.
Yeah.
And they've established him in Hawkeye.
Yeah.
And they've slightly made him more...
They've sanitized him a little bit.
And when you look at how they brung Charlie Cox into Spider-Man...
Yeah.
It
it's all about happy, joy. Yeah.
So
I personally still think they're struggling with this, and they haven't made up their mind yet.
I'm the same with you. I don't think they know where to go with it yet.
Yeah,
I think they've bought it. Now it's like, right, we've got it.
Yeah.
How do we get this out there properly?
Right.
Look, Kingpin needs to be filth.
Yes.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Like
you can't.
to stay true to the character.
Yeah.
Kingpin needs to stay filth.
Even
Like, you
with-
see that,
yeah.
bust your head in the door.
yeah.
Like, are we saying? Oh, have you got that money? No, you haven't. Like, your head just splattered. Yeah. He's trying to push your head through a letterbox or something. You know, that's Kingpin.
Even when
like,
Michael Clark Duncan did it, like the best scene for him is the moment when they're playing Dirty Dog and it rose up, and he grabs the guy by the throat, the henchman, and just breaks his neck.
Exactly.
It was like,
yeah.
there was a reason that film got that rating because of moments like that.
Yeah.
And that comes with the territory of the character.
That is 100%.
And that's why they're baddies.
Yes.
That's the stakes.
Yes.
And they are ruthless killers.
Yep.
But they've got that veneer of respectability in the beginning anyway with Kingpin.
Yeah.
Because remember, that's what he was trying to... And that's exactly how he's written in the comics. If you see the animated Spider-Man, you know that's how he was.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how he's always trying to the public keep that air of respectability.
Yeah.
But in his real world,
Yeah.
he's a friggin' mean motherfucker.
He's like a Suge Knight on
Yeah.
super steroids.
Yeah.
You know, one of those.
Yeah.
Turns up to the award shows,
Yeah.
but is dangling man out the window.
On the way there.
You're gonna sign this contract. You're gonna get £1.50 a week. You know.
Yeah,
There you
that
go.
was a good analogy, bro.
That's
Seriously.
it.
But I do think that they're gonna go R-rated with this. I don't personally think they're gonna go R-rated with all the shows.
No.
Because Iron Fist doesn't need to be R-rated.
No.
Because they could do the same violence they had in Shang-Chi and that wasn't R-rated.
No.
They
So-
pushed that, I think, just to get interest.
Right. So Jessica Jones for me was more the sex stuff. That had more sex scenes in it and the lesbian stuff.
It did, but also what Tennant did with the serial killer notion in his first season was still quite dark.
That too.
Yeah.
That too. Yeah. So there's that stuff. So that could stay R-rated. Luke Cage had the N-word bomb, you know,
Yeah.
all throughout.
Yeah.
And also a couple actually some quite graphic sex.
Yeah.
Not graphic, but it showed a lot more than
was
I thought they
graphic
were gonna
as well.
show.
But everything was graphic. When they get flung off balcony and
Well, with
They shot
Marshall
the
Ali,
barber- they shot the barber shop, the rest of the whole lot,
exactly. So that's probably going to stay R-rated, and obviously Punisher, we don't even have to mention that one.
If you make that a PG, I'm not watching.
I'm not even going to watch
I'm
it
not
because I'm already miffed that they've made Blade PG-13, but I'm going to give Kevin Feige the chance because he's the man.
He's proved
So he's proven himself.
Yeah,
So
all
I'm
the
going to
time.
give him the chance and see what's going to happen with Blade. But ordinarily, I would have preferred Blade to be R-rated. But with that being said, I want to see what they do with this. I think they are going to keep it R-rated, but obviously he's hedging his bets. So let's see what they do. So, guys, what do you think is going to happen with Daredevil and the rest of the Marvel Netflix series? Do you think they're going to keep them all R-rated, or do you think they're going to go PG-13 with them? Leave some comments down below and let us know what you think.
Hashtag keep it up.